Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me. I'm going to talk a little bit today about two particular topics. One of them is who's winning the US election, and the other is Trump a fascist? And it's important for us to understand, I think, that that on the election front, it's still pretty much tied. But here in Australia, they're certainly trying to sell the idea through Sky News, the Murdoch press, that Trump is in front and is going to win this election. And I'm fascinated by this because I don't see what it is that is the attraction. Well, I just don't see what it is of attraction for Trump anyway. But nevertheless, here in Australia, for some reason, the right wing have to push this notion that Trump is going to win. And there was an interesting Sky News comment made by Gabriella the other day that I thought was interesting, just to note what she had to say about Trump winning this election, because this is the definition of misinformation. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. But this particularly is the video that I was referring to. So this is Gabriella talking about her view as to whether Trump is going to win and how.
The US election is 9 days away, and Donald Trump is not just ahead in the polls in all of the swing states, but he's now ahead in the polls for the popular vote, and the left-wing media simply cannot handle it. We heard the attacks from Kamala Harris last week, calling Donald Trump a fascist and linking him to Hitler, but outlets like MSNBC cannot let that sick narrative stop there. They have to keep the fear going. Watch this clip from MSNBC of Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden in New York City and how they try to link it to a Nazi rally.
So let's deal with the first issue. And the first issue is simply that according to Sky News, they are the Trump campaign is doing extremely well. They're going to win. There's no disputing any of that. The game is over. Let's just hang up our whatever it is, our golf clubs, and let's just move on because this thing has been done and dusted. And for some reason, this fits the narrative of Sky News because they, for whatever reason, reasons which I still don't understand, is that they favour a Trump victory because for some reason he is this saviour. But nevertheless, their data has to be disputed. Firstly, because they didn't present any, and secondly, because there is a completely different argument. Now, just yesterday, the new poll came out, an ABC Ipsos poll, in fact, which demonstrated that what they're saying here on Sky News is absolute crap. And in this particular poll, we can see that Harris is 51 to 47, still within the margin of error, but certainly a pretty impressive figure nevertheless. And so I don't know what they're talking about when they're saying the popular vote is indicating that Trump's winning. I don't know which particular vote they're looking at. There is an argument that, in actual fact, there's some polls coming out that are Republican-based polls that are skewed to some extent towards Trump. Who I don't know whether I can't verify that, but certainly that is what some people are saying. And the other one too is this one, which I thought was interesting, which is trust to handle and personal attributes. And in all of these categories, look out for the middle class, healthcare, mental sharpness, physical health, like the physical health one where it's up 29 points, honest and trustworthiness, understanding the problems of people's and what people's lives and what they're going through, represents your personal values and can be trusted in a crisis. All those important attributes align with Harris, and she's miles ahead. But the other one is often does not tell the truth. Well, you know, Trump can win that one hands down. Go Trump. And then so in these particular areas it is obvious that Harris is miles ahead. Whether that would transfer to the election remains to be seen, I guess. And this one is voting groups and how they're voting. Hispanic people up 30%. Still not as high as Biden was, incidentally, but still considerably high. Suburban women are voting now 19%. This is an increase on where Biden was. Black men, 74, an increase again on Biden. Black women, definitely an increase as well. And college graduates, a massive increase on where Biden was in 2020. And white men, this is the area that the Democrats are sort of focusing on right at the moment. They're lagging a little bit behind in that one. And white women with college degrees miles ahead of Trump and miles ahead of where Biden was at that particular point. Now whether again this transfers into the election it still remains to be seen. Granted. Now the other question which I thought I would discuss is who's a fascist, and it seems to me that most people think Trump is. And 18% think Kamala Harris is, both 5%, and neither are saying 32%. But the interesting thing is that when it comes to deciding who's a fascist, most people obviously think that it's Donald Trump. So I guess the point I want to make is that there is a continual effort to define the Democrats based on positive qualities that Harris is talking about, and there seems to be this ignoring of the bizarre, racist, divisive conversation that we get from Trump. So we've got these two sides. One is endeavouring to present the message of hope and prosperity and a great country, which I don't think America necessarily is, but a lot of people, particularly Americans, think that it is, versus Trump's version, which is that American is a garbage heap. And at the moment, particularly Puerto Rico, and that's taken on a completely different flavour. But I want to come back to this video from Sky News and Gabriella talking about fascism and how the left wing are defining fascism in this country.
From more than 8 decades ago.
But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally. A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners.
And you wonder why people don't trust the mainstream media anymore. That is disgusting. And
No, we now know why. We now know why they don't trust you, because your comments are disgusting and unbelievably disingenuous, particularly when you consider this particular person's comments along with those of Rita Panahi and Andrew Bolt and others. Absolutely disgusting.
So-called journalism that MSNBC is doing over there looks like a copy and paste job from the Democrat scare campaign.
Go do your Google on this. Donald Trump's got this big rally going at Madison Square Garden. There's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison.
And the parallel that they're actually talking about is this connection between the type of rally that was held in 1939 and the race hating that took place at that rally. There's some really interesting documentaries done around the rally in 39 that really is worth having a look at, because what they're trying to say, what the Democrats are trying to say, is that the behaviour of Donald Trump is such that it replicates much of the behaviour of the Nazis that are Americans back in 39. And there is a distinct conflation, if you like, of connection. There's a distinct connection anyway between what he's trying to do in Madison Square Gardens, which incidentally is in New York. No, it's a Democratic state. It's not going to be won by the Republicans. He's there because he wishes to grandstand, as did the Nazis back in '39. So it's appropriate that people make that connection, because it's a real connection, and it's one which we need to be mindful of, because if Donald Trump does win, there's a good chance that whatever happened in '39, had it been able to manifest itself in the United States, it didn't, thank God, but had it done, it would have turned out a disaster for the US. Donald Trump is planning to do exactly the same thing now, to bring that sort of fascism to the US. And unless the US is aware of it, unless people decide to vote against him, then your country is stuffed, to put it mildly. Let me know what you think about any of this in the comment section below. You know, do you think that, answer those questions, you know, who's winning? And is Trump a fascist? So let me know. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.